Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has signed a bill passed during the special session that provides emergency low interest loans to businesses that are struggling to get by right now. It dips into the state severance tax permanent fund to do so to the tune of $400 million. Dan, let me start with you. The State Investment Council spoke up during what little time the lawmakers had to vet this plan. Their analysis shows it would not be surprising if there were higher default rates, maybe significantly higher if this in this program. Now, that's millions of dollars. Are these extraordinary measures in extraordinary times? Certainly. But are you sensing a little bit of a failure on the oversight side of this?
Gene, I will just tell you this, and I hope Dee will agree with me. We don't have a very good record as a state when we start putting programs together to loan money out to people, because it always seems to be our buddies or somebody's buddy that seems to get the money, whether it's building a site or building this or loaning money for that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, once this comes out, this loan forgiveness program, where we're going to be. I think it's going to pose serious problems. I mean, I think at the end of the day, they wind up, and the feds do this a lot too, right? We saw this with the PPP program. Hey, we get the money, we give it to the banks will figure out a way to give it out to people. Who do you think they're going to give the money to? They're going to give it to their most, the people that they've got the greatest investment in, right? The one they got the most risk of losing money for. So, at the end of the day, I think the government has a job to be there. I'm not sure that, sitting around and saying, hey, we're going to dip into the permanent fund to the tune of almost $500 million. And we're just going to go ahead and give that out to businesses when they go through some sort of a process. I mean, our history in New Mexico, I can just remember when I was there we were going to invest, Dee you'll probably remember, we were going to loosen up the investment deal so we can invest in fine arts and instruments at one point under Governor Richardson, you name it. So I just say the best indication of future behavior is past behavior, and our past behavior when it comes to building state-run lending programs has been less than that.
Dee, go ahead and pick up on that if you'd like, and I do have a question for you as well.
Well, it's a mixed record, and I think there have been some improvements since the mid-aughts, Dan, in those requirements. The New Mexico Finance Authority will be overseeing these loans. But I agree. I mean, it requires oversight, and so does the federal program. I mean, the federal program it seems to be going to areas of the country with the least need. And there's a lot of unused funding. And you're right, the bankers are giving it to their best customers rather than the people that are really in need. But what is the alternative? The alternative is bankruptcy and continued job loss. So, you work with the tools that you have. And, if you don't want to just outright give people money as they did in Europe, then perhaps this is just one of the few tools we have out there.
Good point there. Dave, the qualifications I'm hearing from business owners, they're actually kind of excited because the qualifications are not that stiff, so to speak.
Right.
A 30% year-to-year decline in April and May. A lot of folks can show that. You don't have to fudge numbers to do that.
Right.
You can't have revenues above $5 million. Are we targeting the right people here, though, when I put those things out there?
I think, look, any amount of money that we can get to the small business owner, in this country, we completely glorify the small business owner, and then we make it difficult for him to run a business. It's insane. And, but I want to make one point. President Kennedy was very fond of a phrase, and he said, when written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and the other represents opportunity. We have lots of danger around, and I think Dan's point about lack of communication is really key. We need leaders from everyone from the mayors to the city councilors to everybody else saying, here's a plan. Okay, maybe that plan isn't perfect. Franklin Roosevelt, when he got elected in 1932, the country was flat on its back, and he immediately started. He closed the banks. He started throwing these alphabet, groups together, Conservation Corps, all of them. And if something didn't work, he stopped it and tried something new. I think right now our politicians and all of us in general, we're paralyzed. You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Yet, something is better than nothing, and throwing some money somewhere is good. If you're going to give out another $3 trillion, try giving $10,000 to every American who is over the age of 21, because that money is going to end up at Bank of America and Chase Manhattan. What are you going to do? Keep it under your mattress? Let's try some, rather than the voodoo economics of trickle down, let's try some pushing it up. That would be my suggestion.
Good points there. Hey, Dee Dee, I got a question for you. Dan, I want you in on this one too, but the big news, Dan mentioned this, the PPP situation. Now, we just had some very unfortunate reporting on this about who actually got this money. It's just not a good look when you got people like Kanye West and other people getting bailout money. My favorite being the Anne Ryan Foundation, which lives and breathes. Its purpose for being is to rail against the government giving money away.
Right.
But amazing. So what could they do? They're talking about lowering the threshold for this next potential round. What can the federal government get better this time around?
Well, there needs to be oversight. There needs to be a lot more oversight. And I was really stunned to see that religious organizations can receive government funding like this. And big bucks. I mean, real big bucks, $1 million plus. They are perhaps
Calvary here in Albuquerque, the big
yes, Calvary here in Albuquerque. So maybe that's a counterpoint to Bosque Brewing that also receives $1 million. So maybe that's just an even-handed approach. But I think that there needs to be a little bit more logic applied, a lot more assessment as to, as Dave said, who are the small businesses that employ a lot of people, that are busy filling social needs rather than putting the money into their own pockets. I mean, we saw what happened to the bailout, and the banks got so much money that ordinary people got foreclosed upon. So I think we need oversight.
Gotta wrap that up there. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Dan. My fault there. I got a little messed up on time. They're out of time on that. Hopefully others are watching where this money goes, but we'll keep an eye on it too. Thanks to you all for being here on the line for sure.